What's up, Nabs? This is Mega Man 3570 and welcome to Pokemon HeartGold. Now, before you click off, let me explain something here. Okay, so this is a big step I'm trying to take here. I'm taking a big risk. I know I might lose a lot of subs by doing this, but what I'm doing is I'm doing a little something for one time. I'm doing one series that's just like my originals where I did bios on stuff, and it's basically, if you have played the games, you don't really have to watch this, but if you haven't, this is for you, because I'm going to explain everything about Pokemon that you need to know, and stuff like that. So I started with a very fun game. This is probably one of my favorites, if not my second favorite. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Okay, so let's get started. So for those of you that haven't played a Pokemon game before, Pokemon is about to be explained for you right about here. Interesting. Huh? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I was just reading this book here. Sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Oak, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. Before we go any further, I'd like to tell you a few things you should know about this world. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends. At times we play together, and other times we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds with them. Oh, that seemed like it was going to be a continuation of a sentence. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Are you a boy or are you a girl? Won't you please tell me? So, of course, I'm a boy. It's pretty obvious. Back when I used to do Pokemon playthroughs, it wasn't all that obvious. But yeah. It wasn't all that obvious. Alright, so, I'm just gonna put in Mega Man, because I'm not putting in my real name, fuck that. But yeah. And let's go ahead and hit start. Your name is Mega Man? That's right. Mega Man, are you ready? Your very own tale of great adventure is about to unfold. Fun experiences, difficult experiences. There's so much waiting for you. Dreams, adventures. Let's go into the world of Pokemon. I'll see you later. And you shrink into the 8-bit world, and here's where the Pokemon journey begins. So let's go ahead and go downstairs here. And your mother's gonna come over. Hi, Mega Man, you're finally awake. Your friend Lyra, I still don't know how to pronounce her name after so many years of playing Pokemon. I don't know how to say it. Lyra, I'm gonna say Lyra. She was playing hide and seek with her Meryl. Meryl's the type of Pokemon if you're confused about that. But yeah, you shouldn't be. I mean, context clues. She's gonna give you a few options down on your main menu. That's on the touch screen if you're playing on an actual Nintendo DS. I'm playing on an emulator, so it's on the same exact screen for you guys watching, but it would be on the touch screen for those of you actually playing on a Nintendo DS. I'll explain what those options do after this little cutscene thing happens. So Lyra's going to come out of that little house over there, and this is a Meryl. This is the first Pokemon you experience in the Pokemon Adventure if you're playing this game for your first Pokemon game. But yeah, so basically what the bag is where you hold everything, items and stuff. This pouch is for, I believe, just accessories. This one's for medicine and adding to your statistics of your Pokemon. This is where your Pokeballs are kept. This is where TMs and HMs are held, which I'll go into those later on. These are where berries are held. I'm not sure what's actually held in here, and over here are key items, which are items that are important or detrimental to the story. So that's the bag. Your trainer card is pretty simple. It's just your name, how much money you have, your score, how long you've been on the game. When you started your adventure, you flip it over, it'll say how many badges you have. It'll say that up here on the top screen where it says league badges. These are all 8 gym leaders, which I'll go over once that's a little more of an introduction to us, once it's brought up to us. Hall of Fame is something that's when you finish the game and defeat the Pokemon League for the first time. Times linked, link battles, and link trades are only for online mode. Sign card, yeah, I'll just, sure, I'll put some. Let's put, I'm gonna That's an amazing autograph, if I do say so myself. Yeah, that's okay. That's my autograph. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's the trainer card. Not very important. This is save, where you can save your game if you haven't played a game before, which I'm sure you have. This is where you save your progress and don't lose it. It'll say how many badges you have, how long you've been playing the game, and your player name. And of course, the options are just a little screw around. Text speed is how fast things go across, so slow, medium, fast. I like fast, just because it doesn't waste as much time. Battle scene, forgot what this does. Battle style, forgot what that does. Sound, that's for how you want to hear it, stereo or mono. Button mode, just do normal. And frame is for decoration purposes. I'll just do type 4. But yeah, those are the 4 options that you have been given. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into here. You're going to want to go into this little building, and we'll talk with Professor Elm. Hi Mega Man, I've been waiting for you. Do you know anything about my research? As you know, Pokemon are carried in Pokeballs these days. But before the Pokeball was invented, people used to walk with Pokemon, just like your friend Lyra does. Pokeballs are great because you can carry many Pokemon, but walking with Pokemon must have some advantages. It could have something to do with how Pokemon grow or evolve. So I'm going to give you a Pokemon. Can you walk beside this Pokemon outside of his Pokeball to see if it brings any special feelings or bonds between Pokemon and people? The device over there has some Pokemon you can choose from. And he's going to get he gets a little call on his computer. It's from someone else, and his name is Mr. Pokemon. Mr. Pokemon is just this dude who he just discovers shit about Pokemon. And yeah, he said he has an egg for you, which is what you're going to go retrieve. That's going to be your first mission as a Pokemon trainer. So you're going to want to go over to the machine here, hit A on it, and here's where you'll get to experience Pokemon for the first time. We have 3 starter Pokemon is what they're called. So let's go ahead and go over the bios for the 3 starter Pokemon of this game. So the way these bios are going to work is this. Every time new Pokemon can be found in a new area, I'll go over them and what they do. Right now we only have 3 Pokemon to choose from. These Pokemon are generally referred to as starter Pokemon. I'll also go over a few things as we get into the actual bios themselves. The first starter Pokemon you have the option to look at is Chikorita, but before we go over Chikorita itself, I'll explain all the features on the screen. We have the name, Japanese name, Pokedex number, and species, which just serve for filler spots to be quite honest. Then there's the type, which is properties for Pokemon and the moves they specialize in. Next up are the base stats, which are as follows. HP, or hit points, which are the Pokemon's health gauge. Attack, which determines the amount of damage done through using physical attacks like Tackle or Pound. Defense, which determines the Pokemon's resistance to those physical attacks when it's used on said Pokemon. Special attack, which is the same as attack, only it determines the damage done with special moves like Thunder Shock or Hyper Beam. Special defense is the Pokemon's resistance to super attacks, and speed is what determines which Pokemon moves first in battle, as this is a turn-based system. It's an RPG. Then we have the Pokemon's ability, or specialized process in battle that happens due to the Pokemon that you're using. In this case, Chikorita's ability is Overgrow. Overgrow is the typical grass-type starter ability, and Overgrow simply works as follows. If Chikorita or the Pokemon with Overgrow has less than or equal to 1/3 of its maximum HP, the grass-type moves that it has will be multiplied by 1.5. So it just raises the power of grass-type moves once you're in a bit of a pickle. Some abilities have effects outside of battle, but not many. Next we have the height and weight, which are self-explanatory, but don't really serve much of a purpose outside of knowledge, and some moves depend on them. Like Gyro Ball depends on how heavy you are, but that's usually not that necessary to know. Then there's gender ratio, the chance of having a male or a female. The encounter rate, which is, it doesn't apply for starters because they'll always be here 100% of the time no matter what. But what encounter rate is when you are walking on a route and you go into grass, you'll encounter different Pokemon with different chances of seeing each one. So you can have a chance of seeing, say, a Hoot Hoot instead of a Sentret. There's a chance that you could see a Hoot Hoot more than you could see a Sentret. That's just an example. Then there's catch rate, which is simply the chance you have of catching said Pokemon. The number's always out of 255. But catch rate doesn't really apply for starters because, again, you don't catch them, you're given them. But in the case that you have a modded game and you can find it in grass, its catch rate is 45, which is pretty low. That means it's kind of hard to catch. And last but not least, there's evolution. Evolution is a state of growing to a stronger state with higher stats and a transformation type sequence. However, I'm not going to go over the starters evolutions because I want to save that for a later time. For now, I'll leave the levels on the screen for the starters. But on to the next Pokemon. Now we have Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is who I believe to be the fan favorite of anyone who has played the Johto Pokemon games. Cyndaquil is the fire type Pokemon with the ability Blaze. Blaze is the fire type equivalent of Overgrow. Cyndaquil is most likely to be a male, but there's still a low chance of getting it as a female, whereas Chikorita is more likely to be a female. Cyndaquil is very fast. It specializes in special attacks, mostly due to it being a fire type, which is what fire type attacks usually are, special. And finally, we have the water type Pokemon Totodile. Totodile is the big jaw Pokemon with the ability Torrent, which again is just like Overgrow or Blaze, only for water type moves instead of grass or fire type moves. Totodile specializes more in the physical department than the special department. It stays that way throughout its whole evolutionary stage, as do the other starter Pokemon, and so do a majority of the Pokemon in general. And yeah, those are the 3 bios for the starter Pokemon of the Johto region. Okay, so that was, those were the bios, Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil. So of course Chikorita is the grass type, Cyndaquil is the fire type, Totodile is the water type, like I went over. And what I'm going to choose is the team that, basically the backstory of this series. The reason I chose HeartGold is because I did do a HeartGold playthrough once, but I did not continue it because my team was not strong enough to defeat the Pokemon League. So I'm going to do the exact same team as I did in my HeartGold playthrough, and that means I would be starting out with Chikorita. And there you go. Touch the Pokeball on the touch screen, and you'll see a little option comes up where it says Pokemon. That's how you check your status conditions of your Pokemon. And I'm not gonna give a nickname just because I don't find a point in it really. How do you like walking with your Pokemon? It's not bad, is it? You can take it all the way to Mr. Pokemon's house. If your Pokemon gets hurt, you should heal it with this machine. It's so easy to use. Just check the PC on my desk. Mr. Pokemon goes everywhere and finds rarities. His house is past Cherry Grove. Go north a little past Cherry Grove. I'm counting on you, Mega Man. So, you're gonna go over here. This guy's gonna come over to you, and he's gonna give you some potions. Now, what potions do? Those heal your hit points or HP, like I went over in the bio. I went over what HP is. And yeah, with the potions, you can heal your HP with them. It'll heal 20 hit points, and then there will be upgrades that you can get, like super potions and hyper potions later on, that heal more hit points as you get them. And we're gonna talk with Lyra. She's gonna see that she likes the Pokemon that you caught. She's gonna like it either way. Well, you didn't catch it, but you received it. You get it. And they're just gonna walk away. She's just like, oh, that's a cute Pokemon. That's about it. That's all she does. So now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to go and talk. Oh wait, no, you're not supposed to do that yet. I'm thinking too far ahead right now. What you're gonna want to do now is you're just gonna want to head right over to Cherry Grove, which is all the way over here. Wait, this person's gonna talk, or do I have to go to my mom? Yep. Okay, so what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to go to your house, and you're going to want to say hello to your mom, just speak with her a little bit. She's going to say how she thinks it's a cute Pokemon that you have, and she's going to, long story short, she is going to give you the Pokegear. The Pokegear is basically, hold on, I'll go over it. She'll go over it right here. You can use it to make a phone call. I know how to do it, but I'll just hit no. You hit the Pokegear and then do the telephone thing. I'll go over it in a second. Let me just go outside to do it. Whoops. Alright. So, just tap on the Pokegear on your touchscreen, and you'll see that you have a little phone contact list, which is where you can call friends. You'll be able to register people as you go on through the game. So, if you, for example, if you were to call your mom, she's just gonna be like, oh, how are you doing? I love you, and that's it. That's it. You can see here there's a few tabs that can be added, like the two things that will be added are a map and like a radio station. So those will be added later on. Up here it'll show the time and date, and over here is just options that you can do. This is basically just themes. I'll do this one. Actually, no, that looks bad. I'll do this one. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, so with that, you can now move over to Cherry Grove again. And Professor Elm will come out. He'll be like, "Wait! Come here! You're forgetting something! I have something else to give you!" He registers you in your Pokegear, so you can call Professor Elm when you need to, but you don't need to, because if it's something that you need to talk with Professor Elm about, chances are he will call you. Now here we're on Route 29. Basically, I'm not going to go over to the bios for the Pokemon you can find on this route yet, because you can't catch them yet, so there's no point of going over them until I actually get Pokeballs to catch them. So let's just go ahead in the grass. First thing you're going to see is, so right now I'm playing at night, so it's more likely for me to see a Hoot Hoot. I'll go over its information as after we get the Pokeballs, which will probably be next episode. But yeah, you're gonna be encountered by a Pokemon once you go into that grass, and basically it's very simple. You have options here on the bottom screen. You have Fight, Bag, Run, and Pokemon. Fight, obviously, that's for fighting. As you saw, you have 4 moves to choose from, but there's 2 only locked at the moment. You have Tackle or Growl. Growl lowers a Pokemon's attacks, your opponent's attack stat. Tackle actually does damage. And then there's Bag, where you can go into status healers, battle items, stuff like that. Run is you can escape from battle sometimes, depending on how low you are or how high you are. And then Pokemon, that's for switching out, but we don't have any more Pokemon right now. So let's go ahead and knock out this Hoot Hoot. Just let it Foresight. Foresight doesn't really, it's not useful right now. What it does is Foresight allows the user to basically identify what type it is and kind of use any move it wants onto it. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. Let's continue on through Route 29. You'll see there's an option to go over there, but it's pointless because you'll be caught at a dead end. Because as you can see, this ledge here, you cannot go up it. If you go up here, you can jump off of it, but you cannot go up. And then another thing is, if you try and go through here, this little tree-looking thing, you can't pass it because you need a certain move, which is called an HM. And you're going to want to unlock that later on. You're going to unlock the move to actually get that cut down. You can do that soon. Well, not too soon, but you know, you'll be able to do it soon enough. I guess I'll say that. So we found another Hoot Hoot here. But yeah, I don't think this really, I guess the one thing else that I can talk about, if you haven't played an RPG before, the little blue bar under where it says Chikorita, the HP, that little blue bar that's half full right now for me, that is your experience value. And that signifies how close you are to leveling up. Leveling up is basically getting a little bit stronger, and your stats raise a little bit with each level that you get up. And as you get higher on, you see I leveled up right there, I leveled up to level 6. You automatically start at level 5 because that's what starters start out as. Your stats will upgrade, and you might learn a new move. If you're Chikorita, you'll learn the move Razor Leaf. I don't think you learn anything with Cyndaquil. Actually, no. Level 6, you will learn Smokescreen with Cyndaquil. And with Totodile, I don't think you... Oh, you learn Rage soon. But yeah, you're not going to want to use Razor Leaf because Razor Leaf has type advantages. Pokemon is basically a rock, paper, scissors type battle system. Where, for example, I'm fighting a normal and flying type right now. And Chikorita is a grass type. Now, flying is super effective against... It's strong against grass types. So if I were to use a grass type move on a flying type, that would not do that much. And that'll be a little more something you'll understand very quickly. It's rock, paper, scissors. It's not a hard concept to grasp at all. I mean, Pokemon is a very simple game if you've never played it. There's not really any way to be confused about it other than storyline-wise. But yeah, we're here in Cherry Grove City, and this old dude is gonna talk to you, and he's gonna say, oh, you're a rookie, I'll show you a few things about this town. So, first of all, you're gonna see that he's much faster than you, and that's because he has running shoes on, which is dumb because you can't run without running shoes, which is dumb. But, first thing he shows you is the Pokemon Center, which is where you can heal up your Pokemon when they fainted. Here we have the Pokemart, where you can buy Pokeballs, potions, and other things of the sort. If you go up there is Route 30, where you'll find more grass, and you'll get to Mr. Pokemon's house that way. Over here, he's going to take you over to the ocean, where I forgot what route number that is, but you can eventually go surf on the water with your Pokemon once the game progresses. And then here is the old man's house, and he's going to give you running shoes. So now you can run, and it's very simple. It's B, hold down B, and move to run, rather than just moving normally. Or, if you want to stay running, you can tap that little shoe icon on the bottom of your screen, and you'll stay running for forever, basically. And with that, I think we're done with this episode because we're getting close to the time limit. I want to stay around 20 minutes per each episode. But yeah, this is not something for people that have not really played the game yet, because this is a little bit of an introduction to the series and to the games as a whole. But yeah, you can also talk to your, you can interact with your Pokemon, and I forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys for watching Pokemon HeartGold. My name is MegaMan3570, and I will see you guys in the next episode.